Okay, we're going to go over open loops, how to be cute and sexy at the same time if you're a girl, and also how to sexualize a conversation and make it sexy. If you're a girl, how to do that in a way where you're still cute. So I'm going to go through this, but we're also going to go through this if you're a guy. We're going to go through Miranda Kerr. She's a fantastic, fantastic seducer. She's one of the top of all time, up there with like Cleopatra and stuff. So I'm going to go through, we're going to go through one by one interactions she does. I'm going to show you specifically what she's doing and how she's doing it. So, okay, so let's jump into this with Miranda Kerr. So I want to do it from the start because this was all really important.
Miranda Kerr grew up in the country racing motorbikes and riding horses before winning an...
Okay, first of all, saying something like that, a lot of people start with building rapport and building commonality, right? That works if you're a Victoria's Secret model. If you have already shown value, you have to create value first. What Miranda Kerr will often do is talk about how she used to ride bikes and she's in the country. That works because when a girl hears that, she's like, oh, I ride bikes in the country. I could be a Victoria's Secret model one day. But you have to set the value first. Then those stories make sense. That's why these two contrasted. She's a supermodel. Look, I came from early background. That story, every entrepreneur tells this story. Every fucking sales video has like, look, here's where I was and I was in the gutter and all this stuff. And look at this amazing thing I've got now. But you have to be at that space. Look at this amazing place I'm at now.
Search, age 13. She stayed in school and finished year 12 before gracing catwalks and magazine covers while living in New York with Frankie, her Yorkshire Terrier. Now she's a genuine supermodel, the first Aussie to star as a Victoria's Secret angel, and she's working alongside Megan as David Jones's fashion ambassador.
Okay, this is all DHV, so demonstrating value. Now, I feel like she's picked this on purpose. She's picked the most attractive job you can have as your Victoria's Secret model. You can make your job sexy. You can be a teacher and you can say, look, I'm a teacher. I make teacher being sexy. You can make, being a business owner, you're an entrepreneur like the guy on 50 Shades of Grey. You can be, there's obvious ones, fireman, cop. I mean, if you have this job, use it and show that value, show it first. I mean, they're doing it for her, so she doesn't need to. But that's the thing. If you have this presentation first, it's important. If someone's watching this, they don't know who she is. Victoria's Secret model, like famous runway shows. These DHV, you have to start with this. When you meet someone, the best way to do this without saying it is what she's about to do next.
Thanks for the angelic Miranda Kerr.
Okay. First, we're just going to go straight into when she comes out. Now, she is using obvious body language. She knows how to use her body. She's not like this. She's like up, tall, straight, poking it. See how I'm doing that? Like I'm pushing my body where I want it to be, right? I'm going to show you a more advanced thing that she does next. But first, you'll be aware of posing. Pose in a way that's intentional. She's walking very intentionally. She's not going to be like this at home, dude. She's not going to she'll be like this like everyone else. But when she's in seduction mode, she's boom. I'm in the pose I want to be in. You see how my body's in an attractive pose. I'm in an attractive framework, not fucking around. It's not time to be fucking around. She's coming under rope. She wants to be looking good. So very conscious of where she's walking, how she's walking. She's doing it attractively. Even little hand movements, it's very intentional. My hand movements, like we're doing this and just not thinking about it, but we'll get to that. So see what she's touching. I was taught this by a Japanese Kapakura, which is like a geisha. Touching in a way that's sensual, but it's not like on is like too low where it's inappropriate. It's not like where it's just too friendly. It's very, very intentionally sensual. And she's doing this, and it's also getting her to command the frame. She's holding. Look, he looks like a little kid. She looks like I'm the one who's commanding this frame, right? She's the one owning it. And she even gives him a look like, oh, little baby. That's a really good frame to come from. Oh, little kid. We're going to come up to you. So all this has happened before she started. There's a photo there. This is, if you're in a bar, if you're in an environment, who you are in the environment is going to make a difference. How you're behaving in that environment. You know, the pre-knowledge that someone has of you. So if you're going into a shop over and over and over to meet someone, right, they're going to know you from coming into the shop over and over and over again. If you've never seen them before, they have no knowledge of you. So if there's pre-knowledge of you, then that's what's going to start the communication. So if it's on Instagram or Tinder or something, before you say hello, they're reading that Tinder bio, which is the same as what she's just produced on screen. I'm a Victoria's Secret model. I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. That is your Tinder profile. And it's supposed to be showing you in that light of not just your looks, but your value as in society, your status. Fuck, this is about to die. One second.
You did that very well, but I expect that from a model to walk that catwalk very well.
I know, you're lucky to turn around and come back.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have thought. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing very well.
I've got something to confess.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to go back.
You were in my dream last night.
We missed it. We'll go back. This is really important. First of all, she's nice. Like, manners is fundamental. I mean, you can ignore manners when you understand manners and when you have manners. You shouldn't be ignoring manners when you don't have them. You need to learn manners first, and then if you're coming from a high place where you've already demonstrated your high value, such as demonstrated as a Victoria's Secret model, now she can be polite, okay?
You did that very well, but I expect that of a model to walk that catwalk very well.
I know, you're lucky to turn around and come back.
That's what
So something she does really, really well is work with what they've said. She never goes against it, ever. I'll break that down in a minute. She always goes along with it. She works with what they've said, takes it as a positive, always, and then works with it.
That's what I would have thought. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing very well.
So you guys probably don't understand what she's trying to do here, but I know what she's trying to do here. What she's trying to do is look for an excuse to make the conversation sexual. She always does this, okay? Looking for an excuse to make it sexual.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have thought. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
So she's already trying with just how are you? How are you? She's trying to make it sexual straight away, not like, how are you? It's just boom, straight into sexual. And that we're going to get into it straight now.
Very well.
I've got something to confess.
So this is what's called an open loop. Now, an open loop is when it says, going, look at a dream about your robe. It's, I've got something to confess. Oh, baby, I've got something to tell you. Oh, shit, I did something. You might not want to know about it. Oof, I want to tell you something. It's building intrigue. It's building tension. It's called building tension. Building tension is sexy, not building comfort. Okay? You want to build value first, then you build tension. So open loops build tension. She's created an open loop. Look at Rove's face. Ooh, what is it? So that's what you want to build. Build tension, build intrigue. She builds it straight away. The first opportunity she got.
Okay.
So then she's using sexual, moving her hair is a sexual body language. Look, so I even went out of it. She's very obvious with the way she's moving her body. She's like this. So she knows what she's doing with the body language and moving it. She's not hard. I'm just going to do it right now. Body up. Like that. See how I put my head forward? Just like body up. And that's exactly what she's doing. Intentional with the body language, controlling it, putting it up, and making sure that it's like on point and in the pose that it's attractive. I just did exactly the same thing. I could do it. It doesn't work. You have to have the body language there behind it.
You were in my dream last night.
I missed it.
You were in my dream last night.
So she's made it sexual as soon as she can. But sexual is a stepping point. If you want to do seduction and attraction, look at Rove's face, like a little kid. She's framed her like a little kid by holding him with two hands. She's then introduced sex into the conversation. She tried to with even how are you. Straight away introduced sex. Like I had a dream of Rove. Now like it's like throwing a ball and playing tennis. She created the open loop. She's extending the open loop, extending the tension, extending the sexuality of it, by building even more intrigue. I had a dream about you. She's not saying I dread dream and we're like playing tennis or sleeping with each other. It's just creating the tension. Like, you figure it out, Rove, and look at his fucking face. Buy straight into it.
It was quite realistic, actually.
So instead of saying we did this, well, it's quite realistic. A third open loop in a row. So she just keeps the open loop going. Now, this is tough. When you start doing open loops, you're going to be like, I got something to tell you. Like, what is it? You're like, I did this. Like, keep the tension there. Drag it out. This is where seduction's made, in the tension.
Is it one we can share?
Well, let me just say you were quite flirtatious.
So again, another open loop, fourth in a row, quite flirtatious, sexual, but not overtly. And she's controlling her body language. She isn't sitting back.
Is it one we can share?
Well, let me just say you were quite flirtatious.
But no, she's not like this. I'll just do the same thing she's doing. You're quite flirtatious. And then sitting in it. Very, very, very intentional body language and just sitting in the tension. Like, you're very flirtatious. Like giving a look like, what are you going to do, Ro? Throwing a tennis ball, what are you going to do? And look at his face. Like that. Like she's just got him in the net and he's playing with him
And
now.
I, kind of liked it.
So she's a master at this, man. I really do think Miranda Kerr is one of the best seducers, and I was really liking it. So now she's even reframed it that you're the lucky one, and she didn't really need to do that. She did it so well with DHB. I'm telling you, anyone can do this. She's just really good at it. Anyone can do this with any job you've got. You've got a teacher, fireman, I don't know, garbage man. You can make a garbage man sexy. I'm a garbage man, man. Yeah, just take out the garbage, take out the trash. I don't know. You can turn that into something that's sexy with, and then post that. You've got to be dealing with like creating the tension, open loops, or we can do that with disqualifiers, which is next. But creating the tension and then sitting in it with good body language. Like, oh, I want to do something to you. Oof, I don't know if I should tell you. Sitting in that tension with your body language. Just look at his face and just he's like, doing all this stuff. And she's sitting back, like, it was very, not telling him exactly. And I'll show you her actively trying to do that.
So, what was I doing?
So she's like, oh, I can't tell him. Like, tell him, it breaks the tension. So she's like, what she's thinking here is, how much can I give away without actually telling him what happened? Because he already knows what happened. He already knows what was implied of what happened. So she says too much, she's giving it away. Again, I'm copying the body language now. Not like this. She's very intentional. She's very, the sweet look, but everything she's doing is sexy. So it rings true.
My apartment in New York, and you were just sitting on my sofa.
Is that your own part? Now she's trying to draw it out. It's not like we did this. It's like, how can I come up with this too? She's thinking what she's thinking is, how can I give this information away where it doesn't make it overtly sexual and non-sexual? Okay, we're in my apartment. Still not sure if it's sexual or not. See what she's doing with her hair, flicking her hair around, using her body language. So this is the more advanced way. So the first thing is using your body language. Be up tall at Miranda Kerr, right? Once you're up tall, then you can start being loose, okay? Then you can start doing things like this, but you want to be up tall and good, strong body language first. Then you could be like, no, that wasn't good. Then you could be like getting loose with it or playing with your hair or something like that. But you want to be up tall first, then getting loose. And now she's getting loose because she's playing with him. Just create the tension. The tension comes from being tall, being strong. Now she's playing with it and getting loose. Like flicking him away. It's the same as flicking her hair away.
Looking to me like, and how you doing?
And then just sit back. I'm going to sit back in this tension.
Looking to me like, and how you doing? I was like, yeah, good.
So she did everything she could to make sure that was not overtly sexual and not overtly non-sexual. And see how I'm even drawn to like being like this, not like sticking in there. Yeah, what was it? So the way you respond to that is that, ooh, was it? Not, but what Rove does is the opposite.
I don't want to say anymore.
Actually, no, that was a good response from Rove. Like just kind of flicking it off. But look, she she punishes negative compliance.
Like, Miranda, how you doing? I was like, yeah, good.
So then he didn't respond well. So what she wanted was him to go like that. She's like, so then she flicks it away.
I don't want to say anymore.
So he's like, ah, fuck it. You're not giving me good compliance. So I'll drop that thread and go on to something else and leave the tension there. Don't close the open loop at all. Don't tell them. Try and go on a different topic. But now he's rewarding it. He wasn't rewarding it before. Now he is. So she'll probably go along with it more.
That's strange because I was in your apartment. You went home. No, you went home.
Yeah. So
you went home.
to see how she always goes along with it. Doesn't fight it. She doesn't go, ugh, I don't want to go with you. She's like she goes along with it. More hair touching, some more strong, and then with the movements. That's going along with strong body language. But she goes along with the statements. A lot of girls are like, hey, don't talk to me like that. But look, they want to be sexy and sensual. They should be like, oof, do you really want to? Like that's going along with what's happening, not fighting it.
You went home. That's funny, Miranda, that you were in my dream life.
I don't remember what it is, but it's really funny. So then, because they're all going along with it, she's rewarding it. But again, because she's a girl, she can be feminine. But because she's got a strong body language, now she can play around and do some funny stuff. But the core is not the funny stuff. The core is the strong, posing action, and then doing something like that. I'm doing this, and I'm like, it's not going to work in the same way. Fundamentally speaking.
I'd just like to take this opportunity of saying thanks.
So she takes every opportunity she can to be sexual. She was sexual. My pleasure. She's very similar to the what's her name? The other seducer I like. She's very similar to Marilyn Monroe. Very similar, sexual at all times. To turn everything sexual. I want to show you that really blatantly.
See, normally when people have dreams, it's a bit weirder, and it starts off as, well, it was you, but then you turned into a monkey, and then you started brushing your teeth and jumped off on a unicorn and all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah, no, there was no unicorns.
So he takes it in non-sexual, right? Like, nope, this is going to be sexual. I'm going to keep it in the sexual. And that's what she's looking. She's looking to get shit out of it. It's sexual, but not overtly.
Strange.
Like incredibly uncomfortable. So,
yeah, no, there was no unicorns in this stream.
So what I wanted to slow down and show again is the tension. There's no unicorns in the stream. I try and look at the camera. There's like no unicorns in the stream. Like just sitting there in the tension or sitting back. There's no unicorns in the stream. Like just reveling in it, not breaking it. And look at that face. I've just created tension. You're thinking about sex. Like so. Two core things the way you're going to be seductive, right? By mirroring. So look, and she's using both fantastically. If I'm giving you a sexy sexual pose, you're then going to feel sexy. You're going to feel sexual. So by acting sexual, you're going to feel sexual. The other way to be sexy is to, what's it called? Projecting. So she's projecting the idea of sex with this open loop intention, rather than saying it overtly, because you can say, look, I want to bend you over, I want to fucking kiss you, I want to do this to you, I want to do that. That's overtly, right? But covertly is saying, you have no idea what I want to do to you. You wouldn't even want to hear it. I had this dream about you, man, but I can't tell you because, and then she's just playing with that. She's doing it in a projective way. So anytime he goes along with it, she rewards it. Anytime he doesn't, she's like, she moves the body language
we're
away.
just going, you lucky
I dream every night. That's the funny thing. Like, I'll dream.
So see how she's changed the subject without actually closing the loop. She didn't close that topic of, this is what happened in the dream. She's like, on to another topic about something else.
I don't know, just random things, and you happened to be there last night. It was very...
What she did there was she tried to go into a different, so you've got different streams in the conversation, and she tried to go to a different one, but it was boring. She's like, let's just bring this back about sex, because she's always trying to bring this whole conversation about sex in some way.
Realistic.
Well, I wasn't in your apartment. I just want to make that clear. Miranda,
No, you weren't. Obviously, I was here in Sydney, so it was my apartment in New York, but you were in the dream.
Miranda,
She has to see at the end is very important. It's like that you were in the dream. She's just sitting in it and trying to hold her face. There's a guy online, Bernie, who actually does that. He's smirking underneath there. You can't see it, can you? And you're in the dream. And then you're in the dream. You can't really tell I'm smiling.
the
Right?
rest of us will
I
leave.
hold it in.
No.
It's getting very hot here right about now. So tell me a little bit more about yourself.
So look, some guys, when a girl does this, they're like him. They go in there, they go into the wrong frame. What you do when a girl's doing this is you go into your strong frame and you play the same way she's playing. So she's going to do this with you. You're hitting it back, playing tennis. You're not like, I was in the dream. You're like, ooh, I was in your dream, was I? I had a dream about you. What do you think happened in that? You're throwing it back at her, not like going into it. So you should be pulling you into your A game, not pushing you into the beta game.
Because I saw it in the package there that you grew up in the country.
Yeah,
Canada? Is that the town where you grew up?
She's brought. She's just like, I want to talk about sex. I'm going to try and say it sexually. I don't want to be on this topic. That's what she's thinking. So she's like, oh, I want this to be a sexual topic. Just get back to that.
What's that place like?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I grew up on the farm with my grandparents, riding motorbikes, horses, climbing trees. I love climbing trees.
See how that from a space of Victoria's Secret model, when you've set a really strong frame and then they've bought into that value, you no longer like. That's when you need to start making relatability. So you need to set first. I'm a fireman. I'm a cop. I'm a sexy school teacher. Like I'm just trying to think generic ones. But then you're like, man, I really like to play video games and research things and read books and go for walks and just things that you need to set that tone of the value first, and then then the relatability is, oh, I like doing that too, but I already see some of the values. So if a girl's watching this, she's like, oh my God, like I ride bikes and I can be a supermodel too. So she's amazing at this, man. She's talking to girls, but also to guys.
You suddenly get thrust into the world of modelling.
Yes.
Does any of that come in handy?
What, the tree climbing?
Yeah. Like all this stuff you're a country kid.
What I think she's thinking is, how do I make it sexual, just personally?
You get thrust in the world of modelling. You're on your way to New York
I think
City.
it helps keep me grounded. Definitely helps keep me grounded.
So what happens when you go home? Is your family still based there?
In Canada, yeah.
So what's it like now? Here you are, big-time international supermodel.
I haven't been back there in a while. I'm hoping to get back there this
You have changed, Miranda.
It's just like we started with a sexual frame, right? So once you've had a sexual frame and you created tensions, I guess the important part here is that they've ignored the fact that she didn't tell him what happened in the gym. That's still sitting there on the side and it's in everyone's brain. Now they're just having a normal conversation. In-game is in seduction or attraction and stuff. This is called the offer. So you want to start with the offer. So she started with the offer, or she started by creating tension. And we can always come back to, well, yeah, what was it? What was in the dream? He's probably still thinking about it. But now they're just talking about normal things. And opening up. See how she's opening up with 4 minutes in. She's opening up after creating value, after creating tension, after making the conversation sexual. Now she's like, being back there makes me grounded. If you start with that, just walks in, you don't know who she is, you don't know if she's a supermodel. There's no tension. Her just saying it makes me grounded makes it boring. At this point, it's fine. So this is when we're moving on to comfort. This is when you can then build comfort, and then you can flip it in this respect. But what she's doing makes it flip easier. You created that tension, oh, should I? Now you can go, oh, why should I do it with you? Or why should I tell you? Or she's immediately flipping the script with an open loop. But with that set in stone and her, setting the frame, now she can get to know him in a more, better frame.
I have not.
You totally have.
No, I'm hoping to get back there this trip.
And how have you found
I was
this
trying
time
to encourage David Jones to do a shoot there, actually. On a horse, free-flowing dresses.
You climb.
So that's a DHB. So what she talks in is DHBs, creating tension in open loops, or creating tension in open loops and DHBs. That's a very DHB story, demonstrating value. You know, I'm doing a shoot with for David Jones. So, you know, 2 weeks ago I had she was one of the Miss Australia, Australasia contestants. We were going to do a shoot in the city in Darling Harbour. So, and we're still planning to do that. So just mentioning something like that is demonstrating value. So that's a DHB story. She
trees.
could say, you know, I was having a cup of tea with my mum. She doesn't have to say, you know, oh yeah, David Jones and us, we're gonna do planning a shoot there. I'm trying to convince them. She could say, look, my dad farted yesterday. You shouldn't have to say this. It sounds like it's not intentional, but even if it isn't intentional, it is displaying value rather than being like, oh, you know, a dog died or something. So it's building tension in DHB. That's what she's doing. Tension DHB. Tension DHB.
Trees.
It's all good.
Yeah.
David, do you have a question? Oh, Miranda. I work at a
This is brilliant.
jewelry store, Leslie Kelly's in Wollongong. So I was just wondering if you ever need any jewelry, you can come down and I can hook you up.
Now, what I want to ask you is, what do you think her responses can be to that? Maybe I'll play it against you. Listen.
It's all good.
Yeah.
David, do you have a question? Oh, Miranda. I work at a jewelry store, Leslie Kelly's in Wollongong. So I was just wondering if you ever need any jewelry, you can come down and I can hook you up.
Now, what do you think she's going to say to that? And what would a normal person say to that? Someone who's not, you know, good at seduction, someone who's not, you know, sexy. I think in a manufactured way, but not in a manufactured way, in a very intelligent way, like Miranda Kerr. What would a normal person say? You know, you can come down to my shop and get some jewelry. They're probably going to say something like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that offer, right? Or am I go, no, it's okay. No, I don't need any jewelry, right? What do you expect Miranda Kerr to say? Like I've already said, she goes with every conversation. She creates tension at your DHB. So let's see what she says.
I love that.
Did you expect that? So instead of saying, oh, thank you, like, no, it's okay, I don't have enough jewelry, she's like, oh, I'm going with it. She always goes with it, always. And she takes it further.
It's not a question, David. It was a statement and a plug. If I'm not mistaken.
Where is the store?
In Wollongong.
To take it even further, so what you'd expect is, oh, thank you for the offer, and I'll take it. She's like, I'd love that. Where's the store? Like, actually going with it, going with the conversation and not against it. And this is getting compliant. So that's passing tests. So they're giving a little test, and she could nip them back. Instead, she goes with it, which is passing the test. So you pass the test as well. And also, yeah, it's just funny. It's just weird that she say that.
If I get any spare time.
Yeah, okay. Any jewelry that you like?
Huge DHB. If I get any spare time, so time's a huge DHB. So what I said, creates tension. DHB is, I'm so busy. If you get time, I'll come down there. But she went with it. She didn't go against it. Like, yeah, I'd love to. I did the fucking head thing. Love to. If we have time.
I like a bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I like rings.
Right.
Don't keep going with it. Doesn't fight it.
I'll put that in order. It's all good. David could hook you up, apparently.
You're wearing that. You've got a necklace.
There we go.
Kind of even, this is asking for like compliance. Like, are you going to give me that necklace? That's what it looks like to me. Maybe it's not, but that's the way I see it. Like, oh yeah, I like bracelets and I like rings. What about your necklace? Are you going to give me that? Like, how much compliance am I going to get for you? So she's going for compliance. She's pushing further for compliance. She's gotten some compliance. Oh yeah, I had a dream about you too. Cool. I'm rewarding that and I want more compliance. So she rewards compliance whenever she gets it. Like, I want to give you jewelry. Thank you. It's great. Which one? Get more compliance when she gets it. Doesn't cut it off. A lot of girls cut it off.
Oh, just
What's that?
cross
To reward compliance, don't punish it.
Very nice.
So yeah, so she punished Rove when he looked away. Right here, he's offering her jewelry, so she's rewarding that, asking about his jewelry, and then just saying whether she come down. Rove said, you know, when Rove was laughing at things, she punished that compliance and like looked away. But when he was like this, she rewarded it and kept going with it.
She's going to dream about you now. This is what you do. This is how you do it. That's what you do. You break into her apartment in the middle of the night, you whisper in your ear.
Just body language is so important. So just, I could do this, right? I could sit there like that and, you know, I could sit there and look at you like this, right? I could sit there and look at you like that. She's sitting there like this and looking at him like sort of controlling your body language, I mean, like, is really important.
Hey, now I'm very...
See, she rewards compliance. He's, you know, saying she's awesome. You're good. You're awesome. You're saying I'm good. You rock. I really like him. You see how they made himself all look better. They're not giving her any attention back. Instead of giving attention back, they're all like, yes, 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 like all little puppies. So she's like there playing with these little puppies. They don't build any attention back. They should be sitting back. It's like, oh, do you now? Did you? And really building it with her, having a game of tennis. But they're becoming the mouse and she's the cat. She's got 4 cats around her, so she's pulling the strings on all of them. And they look like puppets that she's playing with. It looks like a puppet.
Can I say congratulations? Because I read in the paper the other day that you eat.
I do.
Well done, young lady. Congratulations. I saw a photo of you eating a sandwich and I thought, good for you.
No, I had a 4-course meal.
Shay thing, isn't
I
it?
love my food. Everything in moderation, but I must say, I just, yeah, it's definitely something that I love.
It's not much here, it's just talking about food, but again, you can point out that, you know, she's already created tension. She's already been the one pulling the strings by rewarding compliance and punishing non-compliance. She by going with it rather than going against it. She's had strong body language. DH feed with her stories. Oh, I was going to go doing a shoot with David Jones. You know, I'm a Victoria's Secret model. Created the tension with the sex story. She didn't have any stories about anything else.
Favorite things is food. Good healthy food.
Here's all these things, right?
And then I just want to point out the vocal control. So instead of being like, oh, I like food, she's like, I like food. Good food. Like elongating the sounds to playing with the sounds, moving the sounds so they're sexy.
You say all these models is like, oh, I always like to eat lots of food.
And look, I struggle to do this, you know, unless I'm really, really good at it. She's very sticking with it the entire time. She's trained on this, but you could do the same thing. She is here, not here at all. She's in an attractive pose the entire time they're talking. I mean, he moves in and out of it. She is attractive pose, good body language the entire time.
One at school and all this stuff that doesn't.
I mean, we could point out makeup and, you know, that she's actually an attractive person. Naturally, yes, it's true, but like these things are things you can work on.
It's popular at school.
Oh, okay.
This is really good.
I always like to eat lots of food, and I was the unpopular one at school, and all this stuff that doesn't.
No, I was popular at school.
Oh, okay.
Seeing it creates tension. So she could have been like, yeah, I was unpopular too. This way, she creates tension. No, I was popular. it creates tension. He's like, oh.
No, but is there anything people don't know? What's the one thing people wouldn't know about you?
She's immediately thinking, now you know this stuff. She's immediately thinking, how do I say something sexual, right? Is that not what she's thinking? So, what do they not know about you? How can I make this about like something that's not overtly sexual but sexual? And let's see what she says.
Well, okay, let me think about that. I've given away a few secrets. The one secret I haven't given away is that my belly button is actually an innie, but it can be turned into an outie.
But just for any guy, I think, listening, who said, my belly button goes, I can make it turn from an innie to an outie. How would we do that as guys, make that happen for her? With something going in her in some capacity? God, this is getting a bit, but that's what she wants you to think. Oh, I shouldn't think like that. She's thought of a story. She's like, oh, this is something where very sex related because that's going to happen during sex. And again, what reaction is she going to get from Rogue? That's exactly the reaction she wanted. Tension, like, oh, ooh, like actually he knows it's about sex because it's clearly about sex, but not overtly.
Once again, I ask the question, is this something we can share with everybody?
If you want, I mean, I can show you.
Go on.
If you want, I can show you. Again, building with the open loop. And again, feeding into the tension. I'll show you. To give that cheeky look. So facial expressions are important. But the facial expressions come from the body language. I've said it 100 times. Show you. Coming from strong body language, I can show you, is really, really important. And that's why I wanted to show Miranda Kerr, because they're trained in how to move their body. It's boring. She gets up. She shows it. And this is important. Well, this is important because the showing it is actually really uneventful. It's just a belly button, right? Like, who gives a shit? But the way she said it has really implied that through sex, it goes from an innie to an outie.
All right, let's start the clock. If you told us Victoria's Secret, would she have you killed?
Probably.
Have you ever solved a Rubik's Cube?
I've tried, but I'm too impatient for that.
What's the first pickup line you've ever heard?
I can't say on national television.
I don't think there's much more in this, but that I can't say on national television is very, that's just, creating tension, but it's not, it's very covert. Guys can do this in a much more overt way, but look, you can use this covert. Wait, it was not covert, I meant projective versus mirroring. So she's using the body language to create some mirroring, and then she's projecting by saying, look, I can't tell you. So then your brain comes up with it yourself.
Watching.
Oh, all right.
See, that immediately brings it to it was clearly about sex, and it was clearly sexual.
Very naughty tonight. Daniel McPherson will make a good Dancing with the Stars host.
I think Daniel McPherson is good at anything he does.
Who's hotter, regular?
See how she takes everything and then amplifies it. She says, it'd be good. Yeah, it would be good. I think it'd be good at everything. Like, it's just, it goes along with it. It makes the fun.
Gay for? You've done a very good job tonight.
She's like, yes, a question I can easily turn sexual.
Breaking any myth to the contrary, but
I'd have to say there's only one answer to that. Megan Gale.
Look how happy she is with that. Look at that. She's like, you just fucking walked into that row, just brushed my shoulders off. Fuck you. I just had you eating in the palm of my hand. You pussy. So there's no way he could have ever fucking picked her up at the end of that, because she just created all this tension. He was just chasing, and he was just, you were just easy to manipulate.
Andy Lee, you lucky man. Miranda is here launching the David Jones section. Please thank Miranda Kerr.
Okay, well, we've got through that. So, stop share. I won't do the share part. Stop share. Go away. Okay, so go away. Let this shit go away. Okay, so what do we learn from that? Body language has got to be tight. Okay, and then the facial expressions can flow through. Right, you can have the loose other movements of your body if the facial expression, facial expressions don't mean as much when you have strong body language. When you have strong body language, facial expressions mean a lot. You come here. So what else do we learn? DH being first, setting the stage of your job and what you do and making an attractive thing before you then create rapport. And instead of looking for rapport, look for tension. I mean, she's constantly looking for tension. She's rewarding compliance when they go along with that tension, and she's punishing when they don't go along with that tension. All right. She's very controlled with her body language and constantly trying to make the conversation sexual. So very controlled with your body language, trying to make the conversation sexual, and you can see it. She's trying to make every conversation sexual, every topic at all points. and creates tension and doesn't break that tension. So she creates open loops and doesn't close them. She's like, I had a dream about you. Never says what the dream about. At the end of the interview, we still have no idea what the fuck the dream was. So, I'll just say it one more time so we all remember. She creates tension and doesn't break it. She constantly looks for how to make the conversation sexual. And those are the two ways that she creates tension. She creates tension by making it sexual, generally speaking. So she doesn't create tension, she creates sexual tension. That is just the first one. She tries to make the conversation sexual in a non-overt way, which isn't clear that it's sexual, because then it's the other person making it sexual, not her. I just had a dream about you. I didn't say it was about sex. Okay, that's the first one. 2 is very strong body language, very controlled with how she's sitting and where she's sitting, how she's moving her face, right? She's just doing it, like very controlled with the body language and how she's moving her face, and just how she's moving her voice. Ooh, I don't know. That was very good. Ooh, I don't know. Very controlled with her voice, very controlled with how she's moving her body. Creates open loops, which is sexual tension. And what's the third one? I said one of them, right? Oh, yeah, rewards compliance. So go along with what she said. She rewards it by being enthusiastic about what they're saying and going along with it. If they don't, not rewarding her with it, she's punishing and looking away and then moving her attention. Okay, so 3 things you can take away. Build the sexual tension softly, like covertly, you'd say, or you'd say projective manner, make them think that they've come up with the idea themselves. But don't, overtly, I want to dream weird sex. You're like, I had a dream. I'm going to tell you what it is. Number 2, be more control with your body language. And then you can play around with, the facial expressions and shit like that. That works if you're controlling your body language. I can sit here and do this shit, and it works, but only if I'm controlling my body language. 3rd is rewarding the compliance, and then punishing the compliance by quickly removing your attention, and then maybe going back to another topic. Oh yeah, the 4th is DHBing first. So those are the 4 things that she does in the conversation. She does it fantastically well. By the end of the conversation, she had 4 guys on her fucking string, and you could all do the same thing. It's not that she's a supermodel, man. It's just that she knows how to play the game like a fucking champion. So, quick recap: create the sexual tension, don't break it, and don't ever finalize it, or don't finalize it if you don't have to. Much better just leave it hanging. 2, second one, body language. Keep the body language tight, and then play around with your voice and facial expressions. 3, you probably remember this. Really bad short-term memory, man. 3 was rewarding compliance and then punishing non-compliance by removing attention, and then rewarding it by going along with what they're saying and not punishing it. And 4th was, look, the reason they're going along with it is because she created it in the first place, and then they're going along with it. So she has to create it first. You have to create it first. The burden is on you, and then there's the rewarding of it. That's really in the sexual tension then. So creating the sexual tension, rewarding it when it's gone along with, and then punishing when it doesn't go along with both, removing attention. 2nd is telling DHV stories, so stories about yourself in the positive, and start with that before you tell stories about, the comfort stories, I worked at a farm, whatever it was. 3rd is the body language, a strong body language and strong facial expression. Control what you can control. Cut your hair, do your makeup, control what your body looks like. And then the 4th was, I think those are the 3. We'll just stick with those. Those are the 3. Build tension and reward it when it's been, going along with. When it's not, punish it by removing your attention a little bit, just a little bit. Make it still playful. 2nd was, it's about my memories now. What's the 2nd one? The 2nd one is compliance for the 1st. 2nd was, God, my memory is fucking horrible. I can't remember. 1st is fucking whatever the fuck I just said. Oh man, I'm just getting tired. So 1st is creating the tension and rewarding or punishing it. 2nd was DHV stories. Start with DHV stories. If you're a school teacher, like, yeah, I'm a sexy school teacher. I do this, I do that. Sell it. And stories, I've got a photo shoot coming up. I've got one coming up with one of the Miss Australasia contestants. We're going to go do the shoot at Darling Harbour. Let's just see how this is a DHB story. And 3, I'm sure you can think of one, right? Just work around with that. And 3, play around with the body language. Body language. Control your body language, control your face, control your hair, put makeup on, do your hair, and control your moving body. Those 3 things is the core to it. And she's a gun at it. And that's all she does, right? It's the other person be like, how are you, where you're from? Okay, so that's Miranda Kerr. Next, I'm going to be breaking down 50 Shades of Grey. Nice to meet you.